Now,
Yeah.
I would like to introduce the next session moderator, uh, Dr. Anuradha Ramesh. Yeah, okay. So, Dr. Anuradha Ramesh, who is assistant professor and convener and coordinator for self-finance programs in SVT College of Home Science. She holds a PhD in hospitality management and has completed her research in the field of skill development for hospitality professionals. She has 23 years of teaching experience in nutrition and hospitality management subjects. She is the chairperson of SVT Unnati Entrepreneurship Incubation and Placement Cell. Okay. So I request Dr. Anuradha Ramesh to please moderate the next session, in which there will be a lot of brainstorming, experience sharing sessions by our alumni. Yeah. An Anuradha ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Rajeshree. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rajeshree, for introducing me. And dear friends, and we have had such a very enriching and knowledgeable session from morning, and a warm welcome to all for this particular session as well. We have had, we have heard about the aspects of nutrition. We have heard about aspects of entrepreneurship in the afternoon session. Mind body connect in terms of mental health as well as nutrition aspect in the morning sessions, and the entrepreneurship in the afternoon session. And we have heard our experts speak about niche markets, tips and strategies, nutraceutical industry, nutrapreneurship, supplementations that is required, regulatory conditions that is required for this particular industry. And in keeping with the topic of our webinar, Mind Body Connect and Harnessing and Nurturing Potentials, as well as entrepreneurship in the new world, we thought that one of the main aspects of today's requirement is that thinking out of the box is a very common phrase that we have heard about. So thinking out of the box is something that we simply consider different solutions and methods for reaching out the desired outcomes in different areas, and therefore moving away from the boundaries of usual and normal, we wanted to encourage the aspect of nurturing the skills, and that is one of the ways in which our university curriculum, in our college curriculum, has also tried to incorporate entrepreneurship as part of the syllabus. And nowadays, if you look at entrepreneurship, it is no more than a noun or a descriptive way of business, because it is a frontier where there is expanding global consciousness that is seen. And this is also included, or it is reinvigorated the university curriculum. So now, as part of the World Economic Forum, it has identified 10 skills that is needed by the entrepreneurs to survive the fourth industrial revolution 4.0. So we decided that as part of this particular session, we have had experts give us so much of knowledge and information about what is required in entrepreneurship. We wanted to have our alumni from the two departments, that is Department of Food, Nutrition and Dietetics and Department of Human Development, for giving and sharing their experiences, because they have had yes, sir. Um, definitely, sir. So I will just give a brief about this particular topic. And we wanted to call our alumni for this particular session. And we would like to invite our alumni to be a part of this session, where they will be sharing their experiences on the basis of, the experiences, the journey that they have had, the opportunities, the concerns, the challenges that they have faced for their particular journey. Dr. Rajeshree,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Dr. Rajeshree, Mr. Kaushik has wanted to have a small question and answer session. with our panelists who have had their session right now. I will
Okay.
call upon our alumni students to, join. I mean, they are in the session, but if you can just have the questions for Dr. Smarta and
Okay.
Mr. Nilesh Lele and Mr. Gaurav Malik and Mr. Yogesh. So whatever the questions we can.
Rajeshri, we can take the questions. You can
Okay.
take the
Okay.
questions for all the panelists first, and then
Yes.
we can get on to our
Yes, we
entrepreneurs.
can do the session.
Yes.
Yes,
Sure.
yes,
Sure.
definitely.
Yes.
But I have one request. I would like all the panelists to wait till the end, because I would like your reflections to whatever our new entrepreneurs are going to be sharing. That's one of the purpose of like showcasing them, especially in front of such an august panel, so that we get input and feedback from all of you as well. So we can take the sessions, the questions now, so that there's a continuity of thought. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Sure, ma'am. Okay.
thank you. We would like to continue with the session, and without any further, I would like to invite our alumni from the Department of Human Development, Ms. Upasna Shah, and our alumni from the Department of Food, Nutrition, and Dietetics. We have Ms. Niharikka Budhwani, we have Ms. Palak Karodia, and we have Ms. Nahid Khilji. So we would like to invite all of them for this particular session. And yes, Ms. Upasna Shah. And I would like to introduce you to them. Director of a counseling and a guidance center, which is called as NEEV, which is Enriching Young Minds. She's an alumni of our college. She has done her bachelor's from the Department of Human Development. And right now, she and three of her sisters are doing the activity of running the center called as NEEV, which is a preschool remedial and an activity center. She also works as a part-time lecturer in our college. She has been working as a consultant in Music Boutique and has been a special educator and counselor for school in Vashi. Welcome to this particular session, Ms. Upasna. We would like to introduce the three of our alumni from the Department of Food, Nutrition and Dietetics, Ms. Niharikka Budhwani, Ms. Palak, and Ms. Nahid. Uh, they have a company which is called as Health Hatch. They are registered dietitians as well. They have completed their graduations and post-graduation in clinical nutrition and dietetics from our college and SNDTWU University. And they are registered dietitians. They were working in hospital, but they have taken a step towards starting this particular company, which is called as the Health Hatch, which is a wellness company. So Ms. Niharika has authored very many books, and one of the most commendable factors that I would like to talk about them is they have collaborated recently with the government of Odisha to plan a menu for COVID patients for one of their facility in Behrampur city. The Chief Minister of Odisha also tweeted, about this particular collaboration, and with very proud moment for our students who have come back home to us to discuss their journey. They have also touched lives of more than 20,000 corona positive patients in the last couple of months. Ms. Niharika's another aspect is in terms of she has contributed to books like Indian Breakfast Guide, Sugarpedia, and also, she has volunteered as a dietitian in Standard Chartered Marathon of Mumbai. Ms. Palak, next slide, please. Ms. Palak Koradia is also a registered dietitian, and she has vast experience in nutritional management in the field of dietetics, cardiac disease, and kidney disorders. She was associated with Peramal Dialysis Center, where she has helped to manage, kidney patients to manage their blood parameters through a renal diet. And she's also contributed to various articles in terms of lifestyle management in Sadhguru Echoes. Ms. Nahid is our the third alumni whom we would like to speak about. Again, is attached to Mr. Sanjeev Kapoor's Kana Kazana and has curated recipes for him for one of his new kitchen appliance called as NutriPot. And she has also co-authored books like Quick Nutrition Breakfast Guide. And she's also co-authored the Defeat Diabetes, an easy handbook for Indian diabetics, and Winning Over PCOS as part of Team Health Hatch. And they, again, which was a commendable effort that they have, collaborated with the government of Odisha. So we welcome you all warmly for this particular session in terms of thinking out of the box and nurturing the skills. We would like to have you all on a panel, if that could be arranged, so that we can have your videos on and we can have an interactive session. And I would request all the participants of post the questions in the chat box so that we could answer them in terms of the student. It could be posted to them, and they would be able to answer for us. Uh, so, Ms. Upasna, um, your area is in terms of human development. You have had training in psychology. How was your aspect in terms of where you found the opportunity? What were the gaps in services that made you to go in starting this particular counseling center in terms of a pre-activity center and counseling center?
Um, so okay, a very, very warm welcome to good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. And there was, in terms of gaps in the sectors, was not so much as so I'd been working, I'd gotten experience, with few institutes. I had been a consultant with a music company that was working with children with special needs. And as and when, being in the field, you realize that we've been like taught so many ethics when we are part of SVT. We've been told to look at holistic development. You realize that actually in the field, when you go out there, not everybody is following it to the T. Okay, and that's when also, so when I work with children, so when I was working with a particular school and we are working with children, you're trying to do counseling for them, but not realizing that it's equally important to counsel their families, equally important to work with their home environment and school environment. Okay, so those gaps, those, there was not enough satisfaction that you were getting, because the result, even though you were doing counseling for those kids, the result was not 100%. And even though you're putting in your 100%, when you're not getting that kind of result, is when my sisters and I, we decided, let's have our own setup. Okay, and on our own terms, rather than working for somebody else and working on their terms. Let's work on our own terms. Okay, let's decide the rules, let's put down our own ethics and what we want to follow. And I think that's the best, because that's where your satisfaction comes with work, when you're passionate about something and you get to do what you want to do. Okay, and when you're passionate about it, that's when you can give your 100%. When you have been bound by rules, bound by, okay, you can't do this, okay, you can't do that, no, this will not happen. When you're not satisfied, working in that setup never gave me the satisfaction, never gave me the enthusiasm to continue. Is the only reason why I decided to have my own setup and work on my own terms then.
Very, very well said. Very well said, Upasna. The goal of human development is on the basis of, nurturing from a younger, from child to, the adulthood, and definitely to school children, guidance and counseling is definitely a very important aspect. And that is one of the part of our webinar, which is, mind. So, developing minds for younger children is definitely important. Ms. Nahid, I would like to ask you, how did the idea originate for your, organization in terms of Health Hatch? Can you throw us, some light on how you all decided to start this company or start this wing?
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for inviting us. Like a decade back, we were on the other side, and it's like 10 years and we're on the other side right now. So it's an honor for us to speak here and to educate and help students, motivate them. So basically, just when we passed out in 2011, that's when we thought we should start something, and the idea something called as a healthy we started, and that was in 2011. Unfortunately, we had no experience and we all had just enrolled for PG. So my uncle has a clinic in Malad, and we used to go only on Sundays just to get a first-hand experience, to counsel, to motivate people, but we didn't really see success there. So that we actually gave up on that. Then we started off a that website in 2011. And again, that was, we were the ones who decided everything. We designed the website. We did everything, like everything that was online back in 2011. But again, that also did not work out because we had no experience. So that's when we realized that in order to be, to be the boss, you have to work under a boss. You need to understand the market. You need to educate yourself. You need to upgrade yourself. You need to implement a lot of things that you have learned, and that can happen only under a mentor, only under a teacher. So that's how we started off with a job, and all of us were working in the same company. I was working as a work from home employee. My colleagues were working, some were working as a part-time, some were working as a full-time employee. And that's when we decided that in 2014, we thought, no, now it's time that we've learned enough, and I think we should start off with something. And we all had one goal, that is to give out to the society whatever we've learned in a way that is more innovative, something which is different from others. So what we decided was we came up with a mission. And because most of, in fact, I'll talk about my family. We have people suffering from PCOS, people suffering from hypertension, people suffering from diabetes. So we thought, why not touch life of people who have these metabolic conditions and give them a better quality life. So we came up with a mission that by 2025 we will try to touch as many as patients to control their diabetes, or to reverse diabetes, or to reverse PCOS. And so far, I think we've done pretty well. And we came up with 2 books. And again, those books were absolutely
Very
free.
nice.
No, no finance, intended or to make monetize it. So it was just to give out to people. So in 2014, we started off, and it's been 6 years now. And I think we're doing really good. And what motivated us was our passion to help people. And I think that is what pushes people. We didn't want it to just make money. We wanted to touch life of people. And if you have that intention in mind, you will definitely see success. So that's how we came here.
Well said, Nahid. We just heard from Mr. Lele also that this road is not a very easy road. There are lots of challenges that you will be facing, in terms of setting up your own entrepreneurial venture, which brings back to my next question. Ms. Niharikka Budhwani, you have in your mission statement stated that you would like to touch over 1 million lives with, with educating them about, making them aware about, the metabolic syndromes and the disease
Right.
conditions. Now, to go to that level and, to go to that aspect, what challenges you faced right from beginning of, your journey into the health hatch, and how are you, what is your plans, taking it forward to reach your mission or goal?
Right. So we face multiple challenges, right? From ranging documentations, from setting up the mediums. We were really unclear about the ways we could market ourselves and how to, take it forward, so on. And the challenges were only aggravated by the fact that we were bootstrapped and limited financial resources of these things. But passion that we shared like common vision, and that's what kept us going even on the darkest days. The three of us have also worked together in our previous organization before joining Health Hatch, or before starting with Health Hatch. And I remember those days were really dark. We had no clients to begin with, but there were clients from our previous organizations who kept calling us, but we had ethics. And we never stole those clients. We always told them, we were honest about that we've moved out and we've started our own thing. You can, reach out to some other dietitian from that organization. Um, Also, the thing that we did is that the clients that we had, we gave 100%. We, like treated them as our own family members, though our own family members don't listen to us. But yeah, we made sure that, at least we give or we customize our services as per their requirements. That helped us grow. As Dr. Smart also mentioned, that word of mouth is something which is really important. That gives us our services some credibility, and that's what has helped us, in growing and flourishing and being where we are, being true, being honest, being ethical. Um, so this is how we've done. And besides this, we are a partnership firm. So
Like, so Palak and Nahid, I've known them since 12 years now. And so Palak was not one of my best of friends, during college days, but she was the topper. And it's always good to have a topper with you. So, but we've graduated together. We've done our post graduation together. We've had we've studied RD together, and the journey has been really good. And that's how we realized that we share a common vision. We have like a similar vision where we want to be, and that's how we've stuck to each other for a long time. It's been 4 years that we've started Health Hatch. And there are a lot of pros and cons to partnership firms, definitely. Now you have to weigh, pros and cons and decide accordingly. For us, partnership firm has worked very well. It's because we are women, and I think our biological clock starts hitting. So one time Nahid was pregnant, and then I was pregnant, and initial few months of my pregnancy were really, really rough. Like one entire month I was in bed. I was just throwing up, lying down, throwing up, lying down. That's how bad it was. But I had a team, like I had Palak and Nahid at least, there to support and to go forward with the work we had. Otherwise, I would have to temporarily be locked out, from the work that we are doing. And so it's very important to have support, also support from friends and family. We usually underestimate that, but I think lockdown has helped me have a really a different insight about it. Like, I had a my baby just turned 3 months when lockdown was started, and so baby, managing housework and health hatch had been a little difficult for me. But thanks to my husband, who's been constantly supportive, that I could take up webinars. We used to have a lot of webinars. We've given like for COVID and how to improve immunity. So we've taken more than 90 webinars for renowned corporates across India, and that was possible only because of the support that we have created. So yes, a huge thanks to everybody. But this is how we've been, managing everything. And to end, I would say that there's one simple thing that you need to plan, you need to seek help, you need to execute, evaluate, and repeat, and just keep going. You cannot just be like upset and just stop or give up on anything.
Wise words, wise words, wise words, Vani. I would like to take this, Miss Upasana. Since we have also established, SPT has a EIP cell, that is entrepreneurship incubation and a placement cell. And as part of this particular cell activity, we are asking all our students to become members of this, and and take the help of to get their ideas and talk about their aspirations and how to set up a business and everything. So in this particular aspect, since our home science has got 6 specializations, and there are students of various creativity and activities that is being specified as education. So Pasna, how much do you think is the practical and the curriculum that you have learned from the the university curriculum has helped you in this particular venture?
So as a student of HD, my practical curriculum has really, really, really helped me a lot. Like, especially with the amount of field work that we have, with the amount of practical work that we have, internships, they really, really help, because you're not only theoretically studying that, you're also learning how to apply that knowledge. Okay, and back then we would crib and cry, oh God, we have so many worksheets to make, there's submission, this journal, that journal, we have to go for field work, we're running, finishing lectures and running in the afternoon for field work. But honestly, it gave us a taste of the real world. It gave us, you're not sitting in a room of 4 by 4 and just making worksheets but not knowing how to actually use them with kids. We made board games, but we actually know how to use them with kids, not just make them. So 101%, all that practical knowledge, be it with my remedial education, or we had so many with DACP, where we are making toys for kids. Okay, we are doing counseling, or developmental assessment for that matter, where we are learning different tests and actually how to do them. Okay, so we would for our exams, we had to actually get nieces or nephews or something to college and actually conduct it on each other. Okay, so all that kind of knowledge was very, very important, because even when we do so many mock sessions in our counseling classes, okay, we don't know like human psychology is something that has no definition. You actually don't know how your client is going to react. So till you don't have that kind of experience, till you've not really practiced those skills, it doesn't really come to you. Only studying about them, I can know all the skills at the back of my hand, but if I don't know how to apply them, it's pointless. So
Correct,
that
correct.
kind of practical knowledge was great. That exposure was great. Our internship of 3 months, post we are done with our degree, was fabulous. Where at least for me, I work with Mana Seva Sangh, where I got an opportunity to work with the children in the orphanage, with the elderly in the old age home. The children who used to come for the CGC center, that is, come for their remedials. So for me, my internship was so varied that I was working with, people from all age groups and all sectors, that it gave me a very, very composite knowledge, and it gave me more perspective as to what I want to be working as in the future, because we get a taste of everything. You're working with children in the daycare, you're working with children in the remedials, you're doing workshops, you're working with parents. It's all part of our curriculum, and that kind of practical knowledge even gave me at least an insight, and I'm hoping even the children get an insight as to what they would want to do or they would like to do 5 years down the line. What is the kind of work that they're enjoying? It gives you more perspective even when you want to pursue higher studies. So this was one course that we had back then. I don't know if the students have it now, is personal finance. Okay, back then in college, I used to really curse that course, no doubts. Why am I learning? What is a demat account? What is a savings account? Why do I need to know how to write a check? Okay, and because dad handles all this for me. And the day I've started my own center, and the amount of rounds I have made of the bank till date that I make to the bank, with the amount of checks that I have to fill in, with the amount of transfers you're doing, your NEFT transfers, your RTGS, everything, that kind of knowledge, that kind of exposure is so important. Like, we don't understand that we have our fathers or our husbands who are taking care of our bank work for us, but if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to be in charge, you need to know this. You need to know how to make an invoice. You need to know the how the bank
Correct.
works, how a loan works, how your accounting is going to work, sitting with a CA. So yes, it was all a very, very
Yes.
new experience. You learn a lot of things also in the process, but even having a little bit of that knowledge was something that that really, really helped. So yes, for me, SBT has always been a boost to
Absolutely.
always take care of. Yes.
Absolutely. So managing resources is very important in terms of an entrepreneur, and I'm sure Nahid and Palak and Niharikka will also agree with me in terms of this particular aspect. So, Ms. Palak, one question to you is, you were also given a lot of practical training, theory training, and you had thought of a wellness company. So how, to what level did you think your training in the college has helped you? And more so, what innovative ideas? Because your company is doing a lot of innovation in terms of, making meal plans or sending it, how has that worked out for you in terms of the entrepreneurship?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, ma'am, for inviting us so that we can enlighten students, so that we can enlighten SVT students, regarding entrepreneurship, how to go about and what all things they should take care and how they can learn from us. So coming back to the question, yes, SVT has taught us, various subjects, which we can manage. Okay, and yes, when you go out, in a practical world, you learn as well. Okay, so it's a it's a mixture of both, right? So one, when we talk about, SVT teaching us one theoretical knowledge, which is very, very important. Today, the crowd is very intelligent. Okay, they are well read. Okay, so it's very important, for us to have good knowledge so that we can convince people about our knowledge, about what we have. Okay, so that is something which you should excel. Okay, before you think of starting something, of your own. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing, practical. Okay, one, it is very important this whenever you learn from college, instead of directly starting your own company, it's very important first to do internship. Okay, so that I think my colleague did speak about it, so that you learn. Okay, so that you observe few things like how collaboration, networking, okay, how to convince, okay, how to convey, okay, public speaking, Okay, all these confidence, so all these skills what you need to have, you will develop only when you get a little bit of practical knowledge, which is via internship, okay, or when you're working with someone. Okay, so that is also something which is very important, which one should do it before they practice or before they start their own thing. Okay, so that is, these two things are the major things which we, learned from our college. Okay, besides, the theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge as well, wherein I remember we had sessions with senior nutritionists, with senior doctors, teaching us more on practical aspects. Okay, so that is something which is very, very important. I think, if you are doing this, okay, please make sure that you make pointer of each and everything that your seniors or your senior nutritionist tells you, because that is something which is very important. We when we were functioning, we each time we remember, yeah, this is what ma'am used to tell us, yeah, this is what ma'am used to tell us. And that is how it has helped us implementing few things. Like I remember ma'am telling us that spread knowledge. The more you spread knowledge, the more you will also gain. Okay, so this is something which we never forgot till date. Okay, and this is what we do whenever we create something. We always think what our ma'am used to tell us. Okay, so those pointers, something which we never forgot, and something which you should also never forget. Nobody should forget. Okay, you should always keep learning. Okay, now and also later in your life, be a student. Okay, if you want to progress. Okay, that's the only key. Okay, that's what we have learned.
Excellent, excellent. So some of the skills.
I'd like to add one point here.
Yes,
Yes, Nahid.
yes, Nahid.
Uh, I would like to add one point that SVT curriculum is really the best. I remember Jagmeet ma'am used to always say that SVT is the cream of cream of Bombay. So I realized personally when I was doing my masters from IGNOU, and we had students from different fields, we had students from different colleges. And when we used to do biochemistry and human nutrition, and everybody was like, "What is this? This is something new." And we were like, "We've been there, we've done that." So the curriculum was, it was like a repetition for us. It was crisp, it was detailed, and it was so that even while doing masters, we never had any issues. We could understand each and everything. What the other students couldn't understand. So and the best part was everybody used to come and ask us, "Where did you do your graduation?" And we are SVTians. We did it from SVT. So the curriculum and practical knowledge of SVT is, you cannot compare it with any other college. It's the best. I think if you are studying SVT, you are getting the best exposure. So yeah, I'd like to, and of course, our teachers who really give their best, put their so much efforts to teach us. Back then, we used to think that, okay, this is not something which, as Upasna rightly said, that we used to think that this is not, it's not meant for us. Talk about personal finance or talk about textiles, like ये हमको आता नहीं है. But now when we now when we look back, it's like, oh, I remember standardization. Madhuri ma'am used to tell us, okay, use only 1 teaspoon. How in 1 teaspoon you can cook your entire meal. So these small things really help us a lot.
Definitely. Excellent. Well said. Well said. So, how have your ideas in terms of adapting to the online mode right now in your business? Because you are also in terms of establishing yourselves, and how has this helped you in terms of you are trying to get to new customers, clients, and there is a completely new technological setup that has to come now in place. In terms of the online mode. So, I would like Miss Palak or Miss Budhwani or Miss Upasna, please on this.
So, the lockdown, COVID really, it was challenging. But one of the main things that, if you're going to be working on your own terms, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, it is the basic of life. You have to learn to accept change. You have to keep changing yourself. You have to keep reinventing yourself. So the lockdown just gave you an opportunity, but in general also it is something that you have to keep moving step in step, as in whenever there are new ideas out there in the field, you have to keep changing and adapting. This has given us a new opportunity of adapting to the new normal now. So yes, we are all stuck to the laptop screens, but that doesn't mean that you can it hampered your creativity in any manner. Okay, the first month you didn't really understand what to do. Okay, the second month onwards, okay, Zoom is there. Okay, let's start everything on Zoom. Okay, there is screen share. Okay, there is Anode. Okay, so we can make new teaching aids. We can make new games like this. Okay, so it was all a process of understanding and keeping on exploring. Okay, what more can be done? Okay, what more can be done? Okay, let's do games now. Okay, let's do this. Okay, counseling can happen like this. Okay, from being stuck in our brains to we have to be in the same room for education to be imparted. Okay, we were forced to expand our own boundaries to a certain extent, that it can happen from anywhere. Rather, I feel lockdown gave us an opportunity to like for me at least, I have students who are attending lectures or classes or workshops who are sitting in Singapore and London also now, which was earlier never a prospect. So social media has given us that kind of liberty, because we can advertise, we can market everywhere. So I have clientele now that is international. So it has given me an opportunity to grow that way. Yes, clientele in terms of I deal with children with special needs. So children who are very very severe on the spectrum. Okay, they're not being able to handle the online mode. So like the first 3 months even we were wondering
Counseling
what
and
to do, what to
guidance.
do, and now we have reached a point where we make DIY kits for them, and we send it out by courier, and they're learning from those DIY kits, wherein now we're training the parents as to how they can help their children at home. So kids are being sent home, parents are being trained in the process of all of this. We started with new whole session of workshops now, that are where we're working with people now from all age groups, rather being limited to working with only one age group. Now we are working with people from across all age groups and spectrums. COVID gave us a new this of people started realizing the importance of mental health also. So we've had umpteen amount of sessions on the importance of mental health, how to keep yourself occupied. So that was another scope and aspect that COVID gave us. People realizing that it's important to speak out, the importance of counselors. So definitely, as much as COVID has affected business, it's given new opportunities to grow as well. It's how you choose to look at the situation and how you choose to adapt and provide services that are now going to be required in the new normal, is what we have really really learned from this. So yes, and we're still
Upasna,
adapting,
Excellent.
we're still taking up new
Upasna,
challenges.
I just like to come in here because there are a lot of students who are listening to all of you right now. Now these set of students have a lot of concerns in their mind because they have missed out a very important part of their training, and that is the hands-on internship. Okay, because of lockdown they could not be physically there in clinical settings, they could not be physically there in the industry. So what are the takeaways from your experience? How do you think you can satisfy them as to what is it that they have missed, and because you have been entrepreneurs in this time and they have been students at this time. So where is the interface? What is it? What are the one or two takeaways you'd like to give them?
um, so the gap is very difficult to fill in when you're working with somebody hands on, and when you're doing it on the screen. It's very different, it's very very different. And even to the students, even to the last year students, even to the current students, I've always told them that it's going to be different, but that does not mean that it's impossible. Okay,
Right.
so definitely that gap and that little bit of training of how to deal with a child who's sitting right in front of you, or how to deal with a parent, or how to deal with that burst of emotions when they're in front of you, when they're in the room, as compared to when it's on screen. It's going to be different, but at least they have the advantage of learning both now. They're going to learn this now, and as and when things are going to open up, they're going to get hands-on experience as well. Like, I've always told the students also that even if you all have graduated this year, even if you all are going to graduate next year, even if you all have started working in the online mode, never miss out on an opportunity when you all get it to take up a job, to get that experience when you get to work hands on with clientele. It's very important. We had to learn it the hard way. We had to learn the online mode the hard way while we were already entrepreneurs, and we were adapting. We got this opportunity as students, which is
Mm.
even more amazing because it's a trial and error method. Today you are at full liberty to make mistakes at this age, learn from those mistakes, try new experiments, do whatever you all want. And nobody's denied you all. Maybe say the vaccine is out, another 6 months, 8 months down the line, you're going to get that kind of experience of hands-on knowledge. You might not get it through an internship, you might get it through a first job. Okay, so
Very nice.
it's
I
all
think very,
there.
very nicely put up,
Very
Upasna,
nice.
and very well,
Very nice.
well said. Do
Yes.
you have any one of you wants to add anything to what she said? If it's an addition, no repetition.
Any skills that you think the students should develop to, manage both
On
the things as part being an entrepreneur, or they have mindset to become an entrepreneur? What would you like to recommend, and what skills would you want them to develop?
Okay, ma'am. So, a few skills, okay, which they will, probably develop over a period of time, but which they should consider. Okay, one would be very important is marketing and sales. Okay,
Mhm.
if you are, and second is brand building. Okay, if you're building your brand, it's very important to know how do you market it, how do you sell it out to people. Okay, so that your presence is there in the market. Right. So next would be networking with people. Okay, now since it's online, as Upasna said, they now would get a touch of online, which we were actually struggling for. So online has increased the market. If you go to see, okay, it hasn't narrowed, in fact it has increased. So you have offline and online both options now. Okay, so similarly, social media, they can explore more and more and learn from that. Okay, what we used to do is we used to always we used to learn from other people, right? We used to follow and learn from other people, as in the type of material or the type of content that they used to put, and then probably learning from that. So content creation is also something which is very important today. People, if you go to see, they like your content, okay, that's when they will prefer you. Okay, so that is also something which is very
Correct.
important, which they should learn, right, from whom they follow, from whom they like. Okay, so these are few things, like brand creation or networking, collaboration, marketing, sales, content creation. These are few things, which they should put in their bucket list, right? While, if they wish to be an entrepreneur, or even if they wish to function probably with someone. Okay, these few things which they always will require.
Excellent session. Excellent. Congratulations to Upasna, to Palak, Niharikka, and Nahid for, starting out and, venturing out and, creating your own centers, creating your own space and facing the challenges, approaching it with the right mind, with the right, positivity, and trying to adapt to the new normal as well. And to businesses in terms of clients and authoring books and trying to build up with new games and do it yourself kids. I mean, it's innovative ideas, and I think our students have taken a lot of learning from your talks, with them today. You're sharing your experiences with them today. Ma'am, would you like to add something in terms of
In fact, I would like to invite Mr. Gaurav. Mr. Gaurav, can we see you? And Mr. Yogesh, who were our panelists in the last session. Uh, and I think Mr. Ajit Singh also, I can see he's here. Sir, can we see you? Can we see, can you put on your videos? Mr. Gaurav, are you here? And Mr. Yogesh. Uh, okay, I thought we could ask them some questions. Mr. Ajit Singh, are you there, sir?
I think sir is there, ma'am. Mr.
He's
Ajit
there,
Singh
but
is
I think
there.
he may be busy in another somewhere.
Okay.
So
Saying,
excuse
okay,
him, please.
okay, okay, fine, fine. So, because I just thought that, we wanted them to give some takeaways to these young students and I think all the delegates who are listening to us. Fine. So I think we can see if they are back, we can interact with them. Otherwise, we go ahead with the. I only want to say as a closing remark that what I really loved in the whole conversation was that, our intent was not to earn money. I think a youngster talking like this uh, speaks volumes for the kind of values, which you have nurtured for yourself in life. Because to my mind, in today's time, all what I could think and experience, especially in pre-COVID time, was that students, as students also, they only talk business, that they would work for their degree, or they would work for their marks, or even as an entrepreneur, like, and they want shortcuts to earn money. So I think earning money was something which is always a priority, and shortcuts are always a priority for the young entrepreneurs. But a young entrepreneur saying that, the endeavor was that whatever we learn, we want to give back and reach to a maximum people, so that we can help them. I think this was credible, and I really need to give you all a big virtual clap for this statement, because you really made our day, and we felt really proud that you all are our kids, and there were some values which we nurtured in you, that today we are talking this language. And friends, let me tell you, COVID also has taught us that life is beyond money. Life is like what Dr. Shetty said in the morning, that giving gives you immense satisfaction and pleasure and gratification. So that is something which we have experienced in this trying time. And as students, if your endeavor is to disseminate good knowledge to people at large, and I was trying to reach Mr. Lele, and trying to probe and say that you are reaching the villages and those parts of India where we would like our students also to reach, and give we don't want only to cater to the urban areas where they have enough to options to lay hands on. So these are some of the very good takeaways which we've got in this whole conversation which we've had in this session. So but like what Dr. Anuradha, thank you very much. I think very
Thank you.
well done.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
And
you.
and
And
what she said.
we should thank our homecoming students, ma'am. It's actually they are coming back
Yeah,
home, so
absolutely.
Palak
Absolutely.
and Upasna and
Thank them for
Nahid and
taking out their
Dhwani.
time. No, but
Yes,
what I'm only want
time.
to
Yes,
add is that what she said, that we have created this entrepreneurship incubation and placement cell, and this kind
placement
of
cell.
collaboration with HADSA coming together. We have plans to take our budding alumni and our present students who have good ideas, who have good values in life, and they want to work with the institution. I think our arms are open, and we would like to welcome you anytime. Okay, so do connect us on mail, and and tell us how we can work together. So that's precisely what I want to say. Thank you.
Can I just add a word, Dr. Madan?
Yes, yes, sure.
I just want to tell you, Upasna is our alumni, and I know she's very good. So, although she started her own center, and I refuse to give up on her and said, see, counseling practicals you have to teach, okay, and therapeutic recreation, because those are new courses, and she's very skilled. So, because just to honor the college and the department, she's continued to teaching in spite of her very busy schedule. But I just wanted to put on record, the appreciation of the kind of she the way she owes it to the college, and she returns it by making time for us. So I just wanted to you to know that.
Thank you, Upasna.
I think a big round of applause for all of them.
All thank you very much. And Ms. Palak, Ms. Nahed, and Ms. Budhwani, thank you for joining us in this very enriching session, a very fruitful session. And we would like to stay connected, so that you are always with us. And we would like you also to let us know in case if we need to add certain things to our curriculum, how do we take it? What skills do we, kind of like incorporate in our teaching and everything? And definitely we are all staying connected with you forever in terms of this
And
particular
let me also say we are initiating a master's program in entrepreneurship management and business development. Okay.
True.
So all of you are welcome to
Yes.
join that program so that you harness your skills more and become better entrepreneurs. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, students. Thank you. Thank you, girls. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Anuradha ma'am, for meticulously moderating this interactive session. I also thank our dear alumni for being there to inspire young minds by sharing lessons learned through the life experiences. And it's really a proud moment to see our students standing in front of so many people, talking confidently and giving back to the society. It's really a proud moment for any teacher. Okay. I would also like to thank Mr. Ajit Singh, Mr. Gaurang, and Mr. Yogesh for sparing their valuable time and being with us till the end of the session.